Hello, everyone. This is Professor Maloney, and today I'm making my third video recording for this CGS1060 2225, reference number 2679 class. Today's video is to demonstrate how to do 8 of the required 21 tasks under the Windows 10 portion off the MindTap website that I've created for this class. Okay, so let me again remind you of a couple things before I actually do the demonstration of these tasks. So remember, this is an MDC live class, right? And I explained what an MDC live class is in my class overview video, which I played 2 days ago in day 1 of this particular class. But basically, it means you must come to class 2 days a week when I have my required live class sessions. Those sessions begin at 5:20 p.m., so I expect you there at 5:20 p.m., and they end at 8:20 p.m. Now, one thing I didn't say the other day, though, so now that it's day 2, I'll let you know I'm not quite as hard as I sometimes want you to believe I am. So the required class sessions, you still have to be there, yes. But sometimes you may not have to be there the entire 3 hours, okay? Like today, I'm going to play this video in class, and this is going to be hopefully in the neighborhood of 30 to 40 minutes, more or less. And I'll probably stop the video once or twice to clarify a point or two or to emphasize a point or two that I want to make to you to help you understand what we're doing, and also to help you get prepared for the first exam, because you're going to be tested on the material that I demonstrate tonight, plus the 13 tasks that I don't demonstrate tonight, on that Windows 10 exam, which you're going to be taking on Monday, June the 27th, which is 5 days after I play this in class, okay? So, it's MDC Live. You already heard me say that. But there will be times, is my point, that I might have 1 or 2 videos and they may take an hour, they may take an hour and a half, they may take 2 hours, but whatever the time is, I might then say, okay, now you have 2. And I might say, so for tonight, and for sure for tonight's class, I'm going to say something along these lines. I'm going to basically say, you must complete the Windows 10 training in the next 30 minutes. For the first time, okay? And I'll tell you, here's where you're going to go, right? And you click the operating systems from MindTap after you click the Student Start Here and then the Click Here Now buttons in Blackboard. And I'm going to basically then say, so I want you to do it now, all right? And then I will still be there, but I'm going to be monitoring who's on the training and who finishes the training within the 30 minutes, and maybe I'll give you 45 minutes to do it, okay? After doing that, then I'm going to play a second video, okay? And the second video is, and actually I may do the second video first, or meaning before I give you the time to start working on Windows 10. And actually that's probably more likely what I'll do. So I'll play the Windows 10 training, which demonstrates 8 out of the 21 tasks you must do. And then I'm going to ask for any questions, of course, as I always try to ask you if you have questions of me. And then I'm going to play my second video recording, which I'm going to be recording also today. And that one is going to be for the word training. And again, I emphasized in the class overview video, or perhaps the MindTap overview video on day 1, Windows 10, there's 21 tasks. When you get to Microsoft Word, though, there's 126 tasks. That's 6 times more than the 21 with Windows 10. Well, Windows 10 is going to have 21 tasks on the exam on Monday the 27th. Word is only going to have either 25, 30, 35, something like that. But how do you get prepared for it? Well, you're required to do 4 modules of training, and those 4 modules of training include a grand total of 126 tasks. So the second video I play tonight is going to demonstrate doing the first 8 tasks for Word Module 1 training at MindTap, then the first 8 tasks for Word Module 2 training at MindTap, then the first 8 tasks for Word Module 3 training at MindTap, and finally the last 8 tasks will be covering the first 8 from Module 4's training at MindTap for Word. Okay, so 4 8s are 32. So I'm going to do 32 of the 121 required tasks. Then, after those 2, I'm going to say now. Let's say it's 8:30 when I finish these 2 videos. Then I'm going to say now. Class go, 5:20, 6:20, maybe 6:45 when I finish those 2 videos. Then I'm going to say, okay, so you have now from 6:45 until 8:20 to finish the Windows 10 training one time. Now, just one time. But remember, as I said in the class overview and the MindTap overview sessions, I highly recommend that you do each training assignment, 3, 4, 5, or 6 times. Why? Because you're going to be tested on these things. Okay, and the test is going to be extremely close to being, extremely similar to the tasks that you see when you're working on them. Okay, so it's very important that you focus and do that stuff. All right. Okay. Now what else? So this is already day 2. Remember, it's an 11-day class. So once the day starts, I say it's over. So now week 1 is already over. It's 5.5 weeks total. So now there's 4.5 weeks to go. That's it. You have an exam when you come to school on Monday. Not right when you get here, meaning not at 5:20, but at 7:30 p.m. you're going to have an exam. Before the exam, I'm going to play yet another video. And of course, I'm going to talk about something else and whatever else is happening. And then I'm going to have you do your Windows 10 exam. Okay. But the video I play on Monday will demonstrate how to do the first Microsoft Word, meaning the Word Module 1 project. And I mentioned to you in class on day 1, so I'll say it again on day 2. The projects are the most difficult things you do in this class. So you have to pay close attention to my video that I'm going to show again more or less 5:30 p.m. on Monday, after I talk for about 10 minutes, and I'll play the video. And it's going to demonstrate how you download a start file, how you download an instructions file, and how you download a resource file that you have to at some point put into that Word document that you're going to be creating based on the start file that they give you and the instructions that they ask you to do. So I'll then go through, let's pretend there's 14 tasks on that Module 1 project. I'm not sure exactly how many it is, but if it's 14, I'll demonstrate the first 7 or so, meaning enough to get you a 50 on the project. And then, of course, the other 7, if it is 14, the other 7 are not more difficult. Everything is based on what you're learning in Module 1. So before you can be doing the Module 1 Word project, you should first do, obviously, the Module 1 Word training at least once or twice, right? Because your training is the basis not only for the exam, and of course the Word exam is going to be, click on over here for a minute. I'm not sharing my screen yet, so you won't see this, but it's on July the 6th, Wednesday, July 6th. That's going to be the Word exam. So, but you have to do all this other work. So I'm going to do that on Monday. Okay, then you're going to have your exam on Monday. And then I'm going to say, okay, now on Wednesday, I'm already going to start Microsoft Excel. So day 4 in this class, I'm going to probably have an Excel overview video. And then I'm going to also have an Excel training demonstration video, similar to the Word training demonstration video and similar to the Windows 10 demonstration video, but more closely, close, if you will, to the Word training, because I'm going to demonstrate, again, 32 tasks. The first 8 from Module 1 for Excel, the first 8 for Module 2, the first 8 for Module 3, and the first 8 for Module 4 from Excel. And so Windows 10, there's 21 tasks. Word, I said there's 126 tasks. Excel, there's about 133 or 134 tasks, about. But it's more than Word. And of course, Word is 6 times more than Windows 10, right? But anyway, so on day 4, I'm already starting Excel. And it'll already be available for you guys. So you need to always work ahead. work ahead, right? Because there's just a lot to do in a short period of time. Then after Wednesday, the 29th, the next Monday is July the 4th, which is a holiday. So you don't come to class, meaning the required live session in Collaborate Ultra on that day. That's a holiday, a school holiday. But when you come back on Wednesday, July the 6th, that will then be day 5, and that's going to be your Microsoft Word exam. Okay? And the same day that the Word exam starts, not only am I going to be heavy into Excel based on starting it in day 3, but on day 5, before the Word exam, I'm going to have an Access demonstration video. So there's just a lot that's going to happen, as you know. All right. Okay. So let's start sharing my screen so I can show us what we're going to do. All right. So share, 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 and share. Like that. All right. So over here in content. Oh, wait. Am I already on? No, that's my canvas. Okay. So I'm going to be going over now to in the Student Start Here. Remember, so you go to Student Start Here. And then you go to click here now and register. Even though it says register, remember that was because on day 1, and I'm going to also demonstrate this tonight. That's right, for the second time, on day 2, registration at the MindTap site. But right now, though, once you register, you click here, and then it sends you automatically to the class. If you're not registered yet, it'll send you to the place where you have to register, where you have to enter your access code by clicking the Enter Access Code Now button, or you click Continue if you don't have it. But remember, if you're not registered at the MindTap site by 11:59 p.m. tonight, and tonight means Wednesday, June 22nd, I will drop you from this class tomorrow. Right? I mean, again, you're in a 5.5-week term class, which is now already down to 4.5 weeks. You must absolutely be registered at the MindTap site today, which is Wednesday, June 22. So tomorrow, Thursday, June 23, I'll be looking to see who's not registered. Anybody not registered will be dropped. All right. Anyway, so I'm at the MindTap site. So now I'm going to click Operating Systems. Okay. Now, in Operating Systems, there's a lot of modules. There's 7 Windows modules. Well, really, there's 4 Windows 10 type modules. Then there's a Microsoft Edge. Microsoft Edge, that's like using, Chrome or using Safari. That's a browser. And Edge is actually pretty well the same as Google Chrome. Okay. And then there's Mac module, to get started with the OS X. And OS X, by the way, is based on Unix. But anyway, you don't need to go through any of these. I encourage you to, but this is one of those things where you're not going to have a whole bunch of time, but some of you are going to click, let's say, a module 1 and say, Professor, do I have to do this? And what's the answer? Well, is there an orange filled in bubble? No. So do you have to do it? No. But it says read the module and complete the activities. So if you want to do it, you just click the link and do it. You'll learn more, and learning is good. But for this class, what you have to do are the orange bubbles. But of course, you can also say, but yeah, I don't know if there's an orange bubble in here. Well, then you can click them and verify. The module 2, same thing. It's a little read, exercise, and complete some activities. Module 3, read and complete activities. Module 4, read and complete activities. And then we go to module 7, read and complete activities. Again, we're not going, but the system goes. There's no module 5 or 6. And then module 1 for Mac, read and complete activities. You do not need to do any of those, but you must do this one. This one, it counts as part of your grade. Training is 16% of your class grade. Projects, which there's no projects in Windows 10, but the 3 projects in Word, anything that says projects, remember they have also orange bubbles, but projects count as 32% of your class grade. There's 9 projects, which means each project is worth about 3.5% of your final class grade. There's 17 trainings, and trainings are worth 16% of your class grade. So each training is worth about 0.95 of 1 point of your class grade. In other words, it's not even worth 1% of your class grade each training. But the trainings give you the knowledge to do the projects, and give you the knowledge to do the exams. So trainings are extremely important, even though they're only 16% of your class grade. Projects are extremely important, and they're 32% of your class grade. And the most important in terms of grade, of course, is still your final exams. There's 5 exams. They're worth a total of 50% of your class grade. So 50 for exams, 32 for projects makes 82, 16 for trainings makes 98% of your class grade, as you know. So as my final reminder before we begin, or before I begin talking about Windows 10 training activities, is to go over here in content, do your discussion board, because there's only one that you have to do. So you click on your link here. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not in your view. It doesn't really matter though. Then when you click here, it's going to tell you that you need to create a thread first, because you must make a post before you can read the other posts. So there will be a big button for you to create thread up here somewhere, and you're going to click that, and then you're going to, and the instructions will be there. You just read the instructions here, but when you create the thread, the instructions will appear again. But anyway, you can see over here, I'll go in with my view and you'll see who's made their post so far. So my post is there. Eric, Anthony, Christina, Beatrica, and Wendy, I replied to your posts this morning. I'll try to probably do another 5 or 6 by this afternoon. But right now, in terms of how many people have posted, only 19 of you have made a post. So there's 39 in the class, and you only get until 11:59 p.m. tonight to do this. If you do not make your post, you get a 0 on it. And how much is it worth? It's worth 100 points. But when it comes down to what percentage of your grade, 50% is exams, 32% is projects, 16% is trainings. We all know now that they're at the MindTap site. That's 98%. So the 2% left is for this, the discussion boards, and then you create your bio post. It's worth 2 points in terms of percentage of your grade. All right. Okay. So back over here, I've already opened up MindTap. So I'm at the MindTap site, and now I'm going to go ahead and collapse all that, and then go back up here. And oh, by the way, so not only is these activities available now for the operating systems. See, now instead of it telling you when it becomes available, if you see a percentage over here under submit it, whether it's 0 or 100%, it means that it's available. Okay, so it is available now. I told you guys 2 days ago that if you get up early, or you stay up late, I should say, if you were up at 12 a.m. this morning, meaning 1 minute after 11:59 p.m. on yesterday, which was Tuesday night, then that's when this Windows 10 training became available. But also I told you your Word trainings became available. See, it says 0% submitted, means no one's done it yet. The Word project, Module 1 project's available. Module 2 training is available for Word. Module 2 project. Okay. Module 3 training's available. Module 3 project. These are huge assignments, guys. And your Word exam is in day 4 of class, which I always call, day 5 of class, because there's 2 days in week 1. Those are now gone. Then there's 2 days in week 4. And then Monday, July 4th is a holiday. So there's not a day 5 on Monday the 4th. Wednesday the 6th is when day 5 is. And that's when this exam is. But if you then look, you'll see that not only is Excel also then available. See, here it doesn't have 0% because it doesn't unlock until next Wednesday. But that's, in the middle of Word. In other words, Word's not due until the 6th of July. So the week before that, that's when Excel becomes available. So you need to finish Word this week. That's the whole point. And also you'll see that Access, and there's 4 modules in Word, as you know. But Access also will become available on the same day. The same day as the Word exam. So on the 6th, you can get ahead on Access already, even though the Excel exam is not until the 13th. But again, you get a whole week early, just like you did with Word. And with PowerPoint, the final thing in this class, you get to start it on the 13th. Let me collapse all and go to PowerPoint. Unlocks on the 13th, right? So there's a lot of things, as you know. Okay, so I'm going to click Operating Systems, which is what you're going to have to do, and then Training, right? So this is where I told you if you have a Mac, okay? And this means you're working on either a Mac, laptop, a Mac desktop, you can be working on an iPad, it doesn't matter. Anything in the Mac world, when you click this start button, it's going to open up into what we call a virtual machine. It's going to open up, first of all, as a pop-up. So you need to allow pop-ups. Okay, so if you have to Google how to allow a pop-up on a Mac, if it doesn't show itself, then you have to do that. Okay, if you have a Chromebook, you also have to allow a pop-up. If you're using a Linux machine, you also have to enable pop-ups. But when you do, when you start, you're running Windows 10, right? So that's what I'm going to show you now. So I'm going to click start. See, now I'm in a pop-up. If when you click start, don't see start anymore because I've already clicked it. But when you click start, if it doesn't show up, if you don't see it, look down in your taskbar. Like I'm on Windows. Okay, so there's things that are popping up underneath it. All right, so you look for the pop-up, which is this one. All right, so this is where I am, and this, whoops, you can make it, I just now made it full screen. I can take away the full screen part, it doesn't matter. But this is a pop-up, so if you're using a Mac right now, you would still see the same view, and it's Windows 10. That's what this particular operating system that this assignment is based on. You don't need to install Windows 10. It is all done for you using what we call a virtual machine. Okay? All right. So now, task says shut down Windows 10. So before I do that, and I'm going to make it large actually. So before I do it though, I want to show you a few things about how training works at MindTap. So first of all, there's 3 buttons up here. Okay? 3 buttons. An observe button, observe mode, a practice mode, and an apply mode. I make the apply mode the default mode. That's why it's got this blue background. So right now we're automatically on the apply mode. The reason I do that is because the apply mode is the one you must do. So let me say that again. The apply mode is the one you must do. Okay? So in other words, if you do observe, or you do practice, or you do both observe and practice, you don't get any credit for doing the task. The observe and the practice are if you don't know how to do the apply, okay? In other words, these are to help you. But on the exam, of course, you're not going to have an observe and a practice. The apply mode is going to be more or less what you're doing on the exam, but it won't be called apply mode. You'll get 2 tries for every task, okay, on an exam. But they'll move you to the next task if you get it wrong, okay? And at the end of the exam, when you get to task 21 of 21 and click it, it'll either go to submit if you completed all 21 tasks correctly, or if you got, let's say, 1 wrong, then it'll go to, maybe it was task 10, let's say. So it'll go to task 10, and if it goes there, you don't not do it. You instead say, oh, okay, I missed this one, so they're giving me a second try only on that one, okay? If you miss 3, let's say you missed task 1, task 6, and task 19. Well, it'll go to task 1 and let you do it 1 more time, okay? Because you get 2 tries for each task. Then, whether you get it right or wrong, it'll then go to task, whatever I just said, task 6. And if you do it the second time and get it either right or wrong, it'll still go to task 19. And after you do task 19, assuming that was the last one you missed, 3 out of 21, then it'll submit your exam and you'll know your score in a second. Okay? All right. So that's that. But remember, so now let me just demonstrate some things. And I'm going to do some with the observe and practice. But before I begin, I'm sorry, one more thing. So the apply is what you must do. Okay, and obviously that it's based on the task instructions. It says shut down Windows 10. That's what I have to do. Sometimes though, there will be 2 or 3 subtasks that you must do to get credit in the apply mode. In other words, well, I'll tell you that when it first happens, but there's going to be one in the next 2 or 3 tasks where it asks me to sign into Windows 10 as user 2 or something with a certain password. Okay. But anyway, I'll demonstrate some of these things, and when there's more than 1 task, I'll tell you. All right. Okay. But if you don't know how to shut down Windows 10, so let's just say because you've only used a Mac every day of your life, you've never used Windows, you don't know how to shut it down. There's nothing wrong with that. So this will help you do it though, and that's what you need to know, because this task or very, very similar task to this will be on the exam. Okay. And by the way, you can use notes on my exams. You can use notes on my exams, but you wouldn't want to write down 21 notes, because then it gets to the point where in English we say you can't see the trees for the forest. In other words, if you have so many pieces of paper lying on your desk, or you have one long 14-inch sheet of paper with 21 notes, and on that 21 notes there's like a 2 or 3 sentences on each one, it'll be hard to find what you're looking for, when the task says shut down Windows 10. So I highly recommend that you write down notes, but only on the tasks that are the most difficult for you. That way you'll be able to find them easier when they pop up, or if they pop up on a test. In the case of Windows 10, you're going to have 21 tasks on the exam. So every task is going to be based on the ones that you see in the training. But when it comes to Word, Excel, Access, and PowerPoint, remember there's going to be 126 tasks in Word, 130 something in Excel, 140 something in Access, and 150 something in PowerPoint. But the number of tasks on the exam will be closer to this. It'll be more like 25, 30, 35, or 36, something like that for each module exam. But in the case of Word, there's 126 tasks that you basically have to know, because you don't know which of the 126 are going to be on the exam or not. The way I do it is there's an equal number, an approximately equal number, from each of the 4 modules. So in other words, let's say that there's 28 tasks on the Windows, the Word exam. And I'm not saying there's 28. It may be 25, it may be 30, maybe 35 or 36, but it's in that area. So if there though is 28, then there'd be about 7 from module 1, another 7 from module 2, another 7 from module 3, and another 7 from module 4. So obviously you need to do all the modules of training for 3 reasons, really. 1, they're required. So obviously you want to make 100 on them. And because there's an observe and a practice, you can't help but make 100. You also on trainings, by the way, can ask your professor. So if you come to the office hour session, or when it's a class day where I say, okay, now for the next hour and a half, you can be working on your assignments, and I'll still be there just waiting for any questions that pop up. You can then say, hey, professor, on Word module 2, task 14, can you help me? I don't understand how to do it. And I'll be glad to then share my screen again and show you how to do it. That's no problem. But that's only on trainings, okay? On projects, I don't help you. Projects are called independent assignments. Every class has assignments that the professor won't help you on, okay? These are, though, based on those trainings. So when you're doing the Module 1 project, it's based on Module 1 training. When you're doing Module 2 project, it's based on Module 2 training. When you're doing the Module 3 project, it's based on Module 3 training, okay? And there's no Module 4 project, but there is Module 4 training for everything from Word, Excel, Access, and PowerPoint. Okay, anyway, so shut down Windows 10. Well, the way you do it is you click the Start button. No, and by the way, one more thing, sorry. So you see that there's a Start button on the bottom of my screen. I use Windows 11. So the very, very bottom, let me make it smaller again, the pop-up so you can see. So here is where the exam is. Well, the training in this case is, okay? So the bottom left, this is all called the taskbar down here. And the bottom left is the Start menu. Now, if you look on my screen, though, which is under it, the taskbar goes all the way to where you see the clock on the bottom right. And here's the usual Microsoft Start icon on the bottom left. So you have to understand, but I'm going to be using it in big mode, but the big mode then means this Start button here will be just basically barely above my Start button in Windows 11 there. Okay, so I'm going to make it big again and show you. See, there, if you don't see it, I'm not sure how good the video is for that kind of stuff. But anyway, this is the one I'm working on because I'm working in this Windows 10 emulation right now, even though on my computer I use Windows 11. Okay, so shut down. So I click the Start button. Okay, there's the Start button. Okay, and then I want to shut it down. So how do I shut it down? Well, let's see here. You see up here, there's different things. The first one, most people probably know that that's the power icon. But if you don't, then you obviously just have to understand that it is. If you don't know how to do it, you can click Observe or you can click Practice. And again, I'm going to demonstrate these at least once or twice or 3 times. whether I need to do it or not, okay? Meaning, like if I can just obviously do it, but this is the power button, so I just click it. Now, see, that's like, it takes 2 steps though. Remember I just said some of them take 2 or 3 or 4 steps? So this is an example. When you click the power button and then see clicking it 2 or 3 times, it's not counting it as right or wrong until you do something in the next step, okay? So now I clicked it once. Now it's showing me the choices, okay? I can put the computer to sleep, I can shut the computer down, or I can restart the computer. So there's 3 choices within the power button, okay? What did they tell me to do? So you can drag, by the way, the instructions and move it around at anywhere within the virtual machine, not outside of it. But anyway, it's saying shut down. So if I click restart, that's wrong. So I'm going to click restart to show you. Restart. Now see, task incorrect, try again. In the training, I can do it 1,000,000 times if I have enough minutes and hours and days and months and years to do it 1,000,000 times. In other words, there's no limit on how many times you can get it wrong. So I'll do it with the next choices. Oh, sorry. I'll go again, click it. Now I just got it wrong by clicking restart. Now I'll click it, click sleep. So now I've gotten it wrong twice. If this was the exam, it would be wrong and it wouldn't come back to it. But it also, if it was on the exam, by the way, when I first clicked it and I clicked restart, it might have moved me to task 2 without telling me it's right or wrong. It's only when you get to the end of task 21 that any ones that you missed pop back up, okay? All right, anyway, so I clicked it and again, I got it wrong, right? Now I'll show you other areas. So if I don't know that that's the start menu area, maybe I click my Edge, the browser down here in my taskbar. So I'll click it. Well, that's incorrect. So now I've gotten it wrong for sure 3 times, but it doesn't matter. Then I'll click the Windows Store. Okay, click this. That's wrong. Then I'll come over here and look at things like in my clock area. Clock area. It's not even letting me see the clock area, so it's not going to do that. Then my notifications area. Okay, so notifications, because there's more choices, it doesn't mark it as incorrect until you do something else. So this is the way MindTap works. When you have choices underneath a particular button, it's not marked wrong just by clicking the button. In other words, I clicked the notifications button on the far right over here. I can click it 100 times. It's not right or wrong unless I click something else. Even though there's no shutdown option over here, it's saying, it's thinking is this. Well, I think this person is just looking for the shutdown button option. So because it's not here, I'm not going to charge him with this as a choice unless he or she clicks another choice. So like now if I click tablet mode, then I did another choice, so it'll say it's incorrect. That's not shutting it down. But anyway, what do? You click the start button and you click your power and then you click shut down. Look for the keywords, shut down. So I'm going to shut it down. Okay, so now it'll move to the next question. But you can also then verify. See, I click up here. This is the hamburger icon. Shows you your menu. So if I click it, now, I don't remember clicking resize the start screen. But anyway, it shows that this one is done and it's right. And it shows that I'm on this one. But if I want to, I can go to number 3. I don't prefer you to do that, but you can do it if you want, but just don't go getting lost and crazy on doing certain things. So I'm just going to go in order, obviously. So I'm going to do now step 2 or task 2, sorry. So this one says, sign in to Windows 10 as user 1 and use Windows as the password. So here again, you can see there's more than one little step involved. So first of all, it's saying sign in as user 1, but I'm on user 2. So if I type a password like Windows right here, and then I click this continue button, which is like the submit button, even if I type Windows correctly, meaning all in lowercase, it's going to be wrong because I'm on the wrong user. Where are the users? The users are over here in the bottom left. There's other user, user 1, and user 2. You see user 2 is the one that I'm on because it's got that background that you can see. It's like a medium blue or whatever. Okay, so, but you can also obviously just see it by looking up here. Well, it's pretty obvious that's user 2. So it's a trick, okay? They want you in as user 1. So if you type Windows right here, so I type Windows, well, by the way, so you don't see the typing, right? Normally when you're doing a password, you don't, But if you click the I, this little thing here, click it and hold it, it tells you what you type. So I'm holding my left mouse button down. It says Windows in lowercase, W-I-N-D-O-W-S. Then I look up here, lowercase, W-I-N-D-O-W-S. And you notice how that's also got a back color and stuff? Because they want to emphasize, they want you to be signing in with this password, okay? So if they put it in a darker color, or if they put it in double quotes, that's what they want you to do. So I've done it with Windows. Again, I'll click here. So I spelled it right, but I'm not in the right user. So when I click this button here, it's going to say it's incorrect, right? So again, I get 2 tries, but it would probably have moved me to task 3. And at the end, it would come back. If you want to try to go to it again, you can click it and click the one that you got wrong and do it again that way, okay? All right, so anyway, sign into Windows 10 as user 1. So I'm going to now click user 1. Now you see it's up here it's saying user 1. But now I'm going to type Windows with a capital W. So W-I-N-D-O-W-S. Again, I'll click the button here. That looks like an I. I'll hold my left mouse button down and see I spelled Windows right, but I typed a capital W, which is wrong. So if I enter it, that would then be 2 wrongs. Okay. So the right way is obviously Windows lowercase. Maybe this one I'll actually just misspelled by accident. So let's pretend that I just mistakenly typed Windows, but I added an R at the end and I didn't notice it, right? You won't notice it unless you check. So always check. Oh, shoot, I added an R by mistake, so it doesn't count yet. So I can hit the backspace to get rid of it, then click the I. Now it's Windows the way they want, and it's user 1 the way they want, so it'll take. Okay? All right. Let's see. Start the alarms and clock app from the start menu apps list. So again, start menu is a lot of what this is all about, obviously. But anyway, so you click start, and the apps list, there's a most used section. Then there's things that start with numbers or like special characters. And then there's the alpha sort. And A is actually alarms and clock. And that's when they actually want us to use. So this is the apps list. So if I click alarms and clock, it would be right. Okay. All right. Now, start Word 2019 using the start menu. So before I continue, let me just say this, and I think hopefully it's obvious, but I mentioned in class at the beginning of this video, I think, but for sure I mentioned it in day 1 that you will not be tested. You will not be tested in this class with true false questions, with multiple choice questions, with short essay questions, with long essay questions. You're tested on everything that you do in the training. And what are you doing? You're learning. The training is in a virtual machine. Again, let me make it smaller. In a virtual machine, no matter what your computer desktop is using, or iPad is whatever using, or your laptop is using, even technically your mobile phone, but we don't want to play games, guys. Even though you're very young, don't do this on your phone, okay? Anyway, so start Word 2019 using the start menu. So again, here, I can try to do it wrong, right? I can right click on the desktop actually, and it says start using the start menu. But if I click new here, see, here's a Microsoft Word document. That is using Word. Let's see if that's right. I'm assuming it's going to be wrong. Yeah, it's incorrect because they want us to just start Word, not necessarily create a new Word document. Because you'll see when I click Word, before it starts a new document, it lets me do other things first. Okay, so click your start menu, and then now, so here there is in Word, in the case of Windows 10, this most used is normally they're just showing all Microsoft things up here, but yours may be based on whether you've used them or not. Actually, let me look at mine and see what mine is on right now. So here's my pinned, and these are some whatevers. Oh, this is my son Jared's job offer from the other day from the Canadian Forces. That's the same thing. Yep. So Jared is very, very well. We're all very proud of him. He's now going to be a Marine Systems Engineering Officer with the Royal Canadian Navy starting on September, I think, 9th. Okay, anyway, what was I doing? So now, see, if it's disappeared, come back here and pull it up. This is just a little, don't worry, it's a little PG movie that I was just watching in the background a little while ago on Tubi. All right, so here again, and start Word using this. So here, Word is already right here, okay? But that's the start menu. So because this, I clicked here, right, which is the start menu. So I can click Word here, or if I want, I can go to the alpha sort. So I can go down to W and then click Word here. Doesn't matter which one, they're both right. So I'm going to get out of the Word from W just to show you which one came up first. And by the way, on your computer, it may not come up first. So that, again, there could be differences, but either way, it's start, and then you're looking for Word. I'll just click the first one. So there's Word, and it said you've completed the task. But see, at that point, I did not open a document. And that's why the right click was wrong, because right click was only for creating a new Word document. I could have done lots of things. Okay, anyway, switch to Excel. Let me make it big again. Switch to Excel to display the open workbook. So in this case, they're saying we're obviously in Word, right? This is Word. So we're in a Word document, and you can see it up here. It says consulting letter.docx. docx is the extension for file extension for Word documents. So we're on a Word document. They want us to switch to Excel to display the open workbook. So the key is it's an open Excel file. Well, so it's down here on the taskbar. So I don't come to the start menu and click Excel, because that would then bring me to similar to where I was a minute ago with Word, where it wouldn't open a new file, but it would give me the choices of what I can do within Excel. So they're saying switch to Excel to display the open workbook. Open workbook means it shows up on the taskbar. Anytime they have the word open, you'll find it on the taskbar. So you click the Excel here. Okay. All right. So that's 6. I'm going to do, or that's 5. I'm on number 6. I said I'd do 8. Well, I also though said I would do at least 1 or 2 with one of the other modes. So let me just do another one of those modes for you now. All right. So display the desktop without minimizing or closing any windows. Okay. So remember, I'm in, where am I right now actually? Yeah, I'm in the big view. Okay. So if I close the view this way, so basically what they want me to do, if I want to show you where it's going to be, right over here to the right of notifications, is like it's a new whatever line, but that basically is what I click to display the desktop without minimizing or closing any windows. But let's let them tell us that. All right, so make it big, and I'll do, so I'll do observe for this mode. Observe, I didn't tell you actually what the 2 modes are. So apply, obviously, that's the instructions. That's what they want you to do. Observe, there's going to be a narrator, and the narrator is going to tell us more or less what this is and how to do it, and she's going to do it for us. Practice is the same first part of observe, meaning it's going to play a little video, 30-second video though, no longer than that. And it's going to be the same voice, and she is going to tell us what to do, and then we have to click the button, but she's going to put like a little red square around the button. Okay, so I'll do both during this particular training, but for this one, I'll just do the observe. All right, so observe. Now remember, I don't get credit for observe, but see now the observe has that bluish background, the apply doesn't. But once this thing ends, I have to then manually click back to apply, and once I do that, then it'll stay on apply again. But if I click away from it, then I have to click back. All right, so this is for, I'm saying, I don't know how to display the desktop. Please show me. So here.
For instant access to the desktop without having to close or minimize open windows, use the Show Desktop button. In the notification area of the taskbar, click the Show Desktop button. Windows minimizes the open windows and displays the desktop.
Okay. So let me show you that in now the practice mode. Practice is the same thing, but we have to do the clicking.
For instant access to the desktop without having to close or minimize open windows, use the Show Desktop button. In the notification area of the taskbar, click the Show Desktop button.
So she's looking at this instruction, and way down here in the bottom right. Remember, not the bottom taskbar. That's mine. And that's why I don't really like showing it on large mode. But when I show it on small mode, you may not see it as well. But I'm going to flip it to small mode just for a minute again. See right here, okay, where mine would then be way over here where I'm hovering now. See, it says Show Desktop right now, Show Desktop. All right. So when I'm here, it'll say Show Desktop. I mean, that when I do it, but in this mode, practice mode, it doesn't say it for us. So, but you see, she put it in red, and I have to click it though to do it.
Windows minimizes the open windows and displays the desktop.
Okay. So now I must do it in apply though, or I don't get credit. All right. If I go over here, let me hit cancel. This is number 6. So I go over here. See, I haven't got a check mark for number 6, even though I did it twice. I mean, I didn't do it twice, but I clicked observe once and followed, let the little video and audio play, and she did it. Then I clicked whatever I said after that, the practice, and then she said the little video and instructions, but I had to do the clicking. And now I have to do it myself. So I'm going back to apply, and now I have to do it. So display it. So you come down here. Here's the, again, I'll make it the big version now, but remember it's going to be to the, this is called the notifications area. So just to the right of it. But there's also notifications area down here in mine, right? So I'm going to make it bigger, right? So now this is the one I want right here, okay? And it did it, okay? All right, now it's that one. Now, resize the settings window so that it covers the right side of the desktop. All right, so here's the Windows settings. So this one here, they want this. They want me to basically move it. And they're saying resize it, so they're not saying move it actually. So then I come to the right side here to where I get the little horizontal arrow that has 2 arrows. Click it and drag it and then release. Okay. Okay. Now, same thing, but just for the start menu. This is task number 8. So after this one, I'm going to be done. And you, though, have to do those 8. And then, of course, you have to do the other 13. So here, resize the start menu so that it is wider. Well, again, you go to the start menu. So here's the start menu. And now, do they mean in here or over here? Obviously, if it was here, there would be a horizontal line with the 2 arrows. It's not, there isn't. So it's this one. So you click here, click with your left mouse button, and then just make it wider. It stopped it, sort of stopped it for me when it was happy with it. So it's done. All right. So then you get out. Now, let's say you want to then take a break. Let me make this smaller again so I don't hit the wrong X. So if you want to take a break at the MindTap site, you'll have gotten credit for those 8 tasks. Okay. And it'll give you a score of more or less, it's 8 5s or 40. Here more than 40 because it's 8. No, here less because there's actually a little bit whatever. Anyway, you're going to get a score more or less of 40 points at this rate if you stop. But it won't show up in Blackboard until you finish all 21 tasks. Okay, and then it'll show up as 100. Or if you then don't finish 1 or 2 tasks, let's say you leave it like this, then the day after it's due, really the minute after it's due, and this is going to be due, remember, at 5:19 p.m. on June 20th, that's June 27th, that's the exam night. So all the assignments, remember, that are due on class days are always due at 5:19 p.m. So if at 5:20 p.m. on Monday, the 27th, you haven't done this, if you refresh your screen in Blackboard, meaning over here, and you go to your grade center, well, sorry, you have to go to your My Grades. I'll show you that later. But if you go to My Grades and look for your grade, it'll then have a 0 for Windows 10 training. So let me scroll over here to show you where they are. The way I do mine. Windows 10 training. So this will have a 40 or so if you only do 8 of the 21 tasks. Most of you obviously will get 100 on it, and it'll show up in this. Well, it won't show up in this mode because you have a different mode, but I'll show you that pretty soon. All right. If not, I'll show it to you tonight. Okay. Anyway, so that's that. All right. So I'm going to stop my my screen right now, my sharing. Let me actually get out of that one. Go over here, go back to here. All right. So I'm going to stop the recording. Have a great day. I'll see you in class tonight, although I'm going to be doing another recording soon.